Halfway through my pregnancy, we knew that one of our twins was not going to make to birth. He had a very serious heart defect, so we didn't know what to expect. One day I woke up, I was very, very swollen, and so we rushed to the emergency, and they told us that I was in premature labor. And they managed to stop my labor. 2 days later, Michael, one of our twins, he passed away. And 2 more days, I went into labor, so that time they couldn't really do much. I was rushed into the OR, had the emergency section. Michael was born sleeping, and Gabriel was rushed into the NICU. My husband told me beforehand that Gabriel was very small. I could not picture how small he was. He wheeled me inside the NICU, and I almost felt like I was going to pass out because it was such a different world. It was full of alarms and beeps and monitors and so many little incubators, IVs in every baby, so many people rushing. It was very foggy for me. When I got to our bedside and I saw Gabriel for the very first time, it was such a different image that I had in my mind, because I had a term pregnancy before. I gave birth to a 9-pound baby, who was a pink baby, a healthy baby, and now I see the second baby, Gabriel, inside the NICU, wrapped in a plastic bag. He would probably fit in a Ziploc bag, so tiny he was, purple, totally covered in wires. He had a strap on his chin. His breathing machine was bigger than his face. I did not see a baby. I saw all those wires and I was very, very scared. I feared the unknown, like the fear of the unknown, a fear of losing Gabriel. I had already, lost Michael. I was so afraid of losing him because I didn't know what to expect. So fear was completely ruling me for the first 2 weeks. But then as I started becoming more comfortable in the NICU, the nurses were so important to me at that time to translate what was happening in mother words rather than medical words. So I start believing. The feeling that I have, my belief, it was so huge. And every time I look at Gabriel and I saw his will to live, that increased my belief.
We show them how to care for their child, but I think we also show them to actually become great advocates for their child. Besides their child going home as healthy, I think that's probably the greatest gift that we can give them, is to give them the knowledge so that they can also continue on caring for their child with the greatest abilities. So when I think about Fabiana and Gabriel together, I think of a parent-child relationship that is stronger still.
I started feeling a lot of love for the baby that I had. It was like unconditional love for him. No matter what the outcome, I felt this unconditional love for him. I felt the love that the staff at Mount Sinai gave to us. They care about us, they care about me, they care about my well-being, they care about my baby so much. It totally changed my perspective in the NICU, because that scary place, that overwhelming place is so intense, I could feel the love that was in the air.
What was so wonderful in being part of Gabriel's team was just always feeling that positive energy whenever you came by. Even when he was so small and so very sick, there was so much hope for the future. She is a mom who has such tremendous positive energy. She was always at his bed space from first thing in the morning until last thing at night, and she always had a smile, and you could just see the love between the two of them.
The feeling that took me through the 5 months was gratitude. And people say, how could you feel grateful for being in such a situation between life and death, 24 hours a day? But that for me was the most important thing, to be grateful for what I had. I felt grateful that I had him. And I felt grateful every day that I had him for one more day. And I felt grateful to have such an amazing people around me, the nurses, they were, they held me together every single day of that journey, and I just felt grateful to be at Mount Sinai. They had the technology, they had all the resources to keep my baby alive, because I know if I was in another country or maybe in another hospital, even in Canada, he wouldn't have a chance to survive. I really would like to thank all the donors that support the hospital, because donating to a hospital is way beyond just giving money. When you give money to the hospital, you are really giving money to the families who are using the hospital. And I can tell by my experience that all that I received, and I know a lot of it came from families and individual donors, from stickers to the nurses to use in our incubators to put a smile on our faces, to millions of dollars that are donating every year to make this unit come true, to get all the latest technology to enable the doctors to work and save lives like they did for Gabriel. Whatever I can do to support the hospital, I will. That's a commitment I made, and I will always be grateful to this hospital and the staff and for everything that they gave to us. I would like to also take Moms for Sinai to make this possible. It's amazing how a small group of people can do so many great things for other families in our community.
Thank you.
Mount
Mount
Sinai.
Sinai.